Yo! So, hey guys, just decided to do a sketchbook tour video. This is going to be the first of maybe 6 or 7 videos, mostly because I have about 6 or so sketchbooks to cover. So this all spans pretty much 2 years of work, of studying and just practice and things. So I just wanted to upload that so that I could show you guys essentially what the impact of having, you know, kind of the mileage of drawing so much over a span of 2 years can be, and how like it's possible to improve in a short span of time. You know, you don't need 10 years, but over that 10 years you will improve even faster because you're doing, you know, more. So it's not going to be one of these black sketchbooks to start with. This is actually where I first started doing a real sketchbook, but this video will kind of cover stuff that I did in high school. I have other artwork that I did kind of prior, just like a year before high school and stuff, but I don't have that anymore. I mean, I have it, but I don't have it. Like, I lost it, so it's all gone. And yeah, so let's just get into it, show you some stuff from high school, a lot of teen angst, but don't judge me. So yeah, see, already starting with this. Let me just adjust this so you can see everything. So this was just a sketch I did. I don't know, I liked horns, and I think I'd just gotten into Dragon Ball Z. So if you look at a lot of the Dragon Ball Z expressions, they have this kind of furrowed brow. So that's kind of where, and like the eyes look very Dragon Ball Z-esque, and that's kind of like a Majin Buu type thing. I don't even know what ER is, but yeah. Through the fire, just like an angry dude that's about to punch her, and she's like a siren. She can stop that because she's, I don't know what that is. 12th of October 2006. So yeah, this is from 2006, high school years. This is, oh, that's actually 11th grade for me. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. This, oh yeah, there's a bunch of sketches that go with this. This is just like a little storyboard thing I did for an ex-girlfriend of mine for basically her birthday or whatever, and it was just like a little joke between the two of us. So it's an inside joke. You guys would not get it. It's kind of lame little jokes, but little comic stuff, whatever. So yeah, at the time, I was doing just mostly copy art and drawing from imagination. So this, for instance, is something from Michael Turner. Oh, car passing by. This is Michael Turner. We had, you know, free comic book day, and this was in one of the comics that I got, and it was just like a catalog of art. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I was like, this is such a cool image, let me draw it. So yeah, my shading was really bad. I don't know if it was identical to what was in the drawings, but I tend to shade, back then I tended to shade with like pockets of light. I don't know how to explain it. Just wherever there was a pocket, I would do that, or like a corner and stuff. I didn't understand shading. I just basically understood. I didn't understand shadows and light. I only understood dark points. It didn't make sense, but yeah. And then this was a tattoo I wanted to get done of some gorilla thing. I just drew this again from imagination. Yeah, Chinese symbols or kanji or Japanese, I don't know. But glad I didn't get it because I was probably wrong. So yeah, and then I redid that gorilla and was like, I want to do it bigger and stronger. And again, remember, I like watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z, and I remember Ang Lee's Hulk had come out. Maybe I don't know if it had come out, but I'd seen it around this time, and I was like, yo, man, the Hulk is just so sick. Like, I mean, not a lot of people like that movie and got bad reviews, but I still like it. Maybe I'm gonna rewatch that today. But yeah, this was like my buff dude with the chain and the gorilla, and the feet are really bad, and it's whatever. Again with the tattoo stuff. Oh, this is from my from 12th grade. So we call 12th grade matric. That's what that says, M-A-T-R-I-C, matric. This was done by a friend of mine in South Africa. He was really good at graffiti, so we collaborated on this one. Basically, my school wanted us to draw a like a sweater design for the class of '07. So we designed this little sweater. they didn't take this idea. I liked it because I was like, you know, the pen is mightier than the sword type deal thing. But the thumb is pretty big, but I still like it, man. Proportions are a little bit off, but man, I still like it. But they made me do another one, which I didn't like, and whatever. It's all good though, so. Again, with my finger proportions. Again, I didn't do studies. A lot of it was watching Dragon Ball Z and seeing how they drew hands and just kind of copying that with the, like, they had very, like, my hands. Like, if you look at my hands, I'm pretty sure I did draw my hand here, but, like, yeah, I didn't really study anything. It was just, like, drawing whatever I wanted, and that was fine. It was fun. Like, yeah. Angst. Never love. I think I got broken up with after this, and I was like, ah, my heart. And I just, like, drew what I felt, so it was like a melting heart. Oozing stuff. Goku, big inspiration. And again, at the time, you'll see this later on in some of my sketchbooks. My line art, that was the thing I had focused so much on, was because I wanted to make sure I had very clean lines. I don't think I've ever really had a point where I was like sketching like very like you know, scratchy. But yeah, and I think it's because I was studying from several websites, because I was like, I want to know how to do anime, and there was this website called Bakaneko at the time that was doing anime. So yeah, skull stuff. Man, I did love horns and mouths and big anime eyes, very anime-esque hair, where you draw every like strand like that kind of thing. Mugen from Samurai Champloo, again, lots of copy art, like copied that, did that. Day. This is a character from one of my comics that I was drawing at the time. I had so many comic little books. I had like a knockoff Dragon Ball Z that I used to do, and I would just drawing that every day. And that's how I started drawing. Was I used to take notebooks from like class. Whenever we go stationery shopping, my mom would like buy me an extra notebook or whatever, and I take one of them and I just draw in every single page. I divide all the pages into like, you know. And so that's kind of what my first real sketchbooks look like that. But again, I don't have those. I do miss them because I want to look back on them, but you live and you let go. So that's Day. Her proportions a little bit off. Her thighs like pretty big, and again with the pockets, like it's really dark here. I didn't understand like there's shadow here, but there's a shadow here on the inside, and then there's two shadows. It's a mess. I didn't understand shadows. I just knew that there were dark points every time. So I was scared of that, and I never thought I'd ever learn how to do shadows again. But it's actually up until recently that I started doing value studies, and I'm like, yeah, now I get light. Now I understand it. You know, it's a very simple concept, but yeah, this is just a printout of that other thing. Kaido, one of the characters from my comic. Oh yeah, it's called Arcane Melody. Arcane Melody is the name of the comic. Kaido was just this dude. I don't even know what it was about. I just know it had something to do with music, and they fought with musical instruments or something like that. This is Naomi. Yeah. I think this was inspired as well. His character design by Screed. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. It's an anime. I hadn't seen the anime. I only saw like 2 episodes of it that my brother had gotten, and like I was like, oh my god, this is sick. That one arm like shirt rip thing. Mech arm, but yeah. Omar. There's a lot of stuff that's wrong with some of these sketches, like this one back here. The wings looked really clumpy, and I didn't know, if you can tell, I didn't know how to draw feet, so I just covered it up with a cloth thing. So yeah. And again, these are all drawn on A4 printing paper, so that's why I say I didn't have Sketchbook. I just would go to the store and buy printing paper and just use it, because it was like $2 for like 500 pages or something. And I was like, this is great. And I would just, I'd always have tons of paper to draw on, and it was kind of nice because every time I hated a sketch, I'd be like, crumple it up and throw it away, and you know. You can't do that with Sketchbook so much, like rip out a page. Your Sketchbook look horrible, with these things. Omar, nice. Fire pants. I don't know. I knew shadows underneath him. Again, at least, yeah. Naomi. Yeah. Wow. That hair and that face, though. Very anime-esque. Very, very anime. And that kind of, the anime background kind of can ruin a lot of people. It did kind of mess things up for me for a while because I struggled with hair, because I was thinking in terms of how you draw anime hair, which is like big shapes, which is cool. That's how you should draw them now, but it was like the way anime hair is just, I don't know, it has a very unique kind of shape to them, the way that they do it. So Okata, angry, I don't know, that's a character. Arcane Melody, lots of Arcane Melody characters. I'm gonna keep zooming on this now because I'm just like talking about one sketch. This is just a tattoo design. Little angry guy, Hulk type character deal thing. Khan, the Punisher from Shadow Omen, another comic of mine. Lot of demon angry type deal. Again, Dragon Ball Z was a big inspiration, just in terms of drawing muscles. So that's kind of where I learned how to draw anatomy, like male anatomy. So in my recent years, past 2 years with these sketchbooks, I've just been focusing on female anatomy because I never really drew that as much as I did men, because I was always copying Dragon Ball Z. So, and I just loved King of Fighters. They always had like these little, concept design for the characters. So that's why I would always just draw characters standing and posing. And that's it. There was no other poses really that I would draw. So Solace, again, big swords. Kind of reminds me of Berserk, maybe. Oh, and this is just, this isn't a drawing. This is just a printout that I had from Polycarbon. I forgot the artist's name, but he did this. And then there's just tattoo stuff in here. Nothing really interesting. And now we move on to some stuff that I did roughly about 2.5 years ago. This is right before I actually got one of these black sketchbooks, which are my favorite sketchbooks that you can get at Michael's for $5, and I love these so much. But these are ring binder sketchbooks, which I hate because the pages would tear out, and I'd throw it in my bag. I don't know, I was kind of messy at the time. But so yeah, let's just get through these, and this is kind of where I started playing around with anatomy studies, figure drawing, and stuff like that. So yeah, this isn't too bad. I mean, I'd been drawing on and off for the past few years, over and over. And the reason I got back into it is mostly because my tattoo artist, I had shown her that one gorilla design, if I show you. But I'd shown her the gorilla design, this thing. I'd shown her this, and I said, like, eventually I might want to get something like this. This was like 3 years ago, and she was like telling me that I was really good at drawing, and I was like, what? It kind of inspired me. I was like, maybe I do have a knack for it. And I was always told that I shouldn't get into drawing in high school because there's no market for it or whatever. You can't like make money with that, like with art, because it was just like, the whole cliche or whatever stereotype of the like starving artist. And art has changed so much. Digital painting, being able to have Patreon and YouTube and stuff, and that's where I got inspired to kind of just follow my passion. So yeah, man, don't let anybody tell you can't do something, man. Dang, high school people. So I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, back to it. So gesture drawing, a lot of gesture drawing, anatomy poses, drawing some anatomy, lady. Now these are all out of order, so I don't know what page is which page, so I don't know. You'll see this one on a lot CG things, CG boards. Like this is a CG thing sculpture that I drew from. So that one, I remember I was really proud of myself with this pose, but she's got a long torso, but whatever. This wasn't really good at hands. I still struggle with hands. Everybody does, you know how it is. Hands are just, legs, poses. And again, I wasn't filling up any of these pages. I was just like drawing on like one thing because I was focused on being precious about my sketchbooks. Like I was just focused on like trying to make art rather than trying to study. It's like the difference between performance and practice. And I might say that again and mention it again, but I really stress that. Like there's a difference between performance and practice. This was not meant to be something I was going to show people. Well, actually, from this mentality here, yeah, I was trying to draw stuff that I could impress people with. So I drew a lot less. Hands, didn't understand shading. This kind of looks like Sasuke with his, I don't know, from Naruto, is the stuff taking over him. But this is not a bad hand. Like I like the way that it looks energetically, but yeah. Eyes. Oh man, I used to draw eyes really big. Like I would draw the entire pupil, everything like exposed in like the eyelid and everything. But I like this hand. I do these still. Sorry, I'm gonna be talking like really like back and forth, like here, there, and different, because I'm just trying to zoom through this and like only have a certain amount of time I can record, because I'm recording this on my phone, so yeah. And we have this pose. Oh man, yikes. This one I remember I didn't understand shading, so instead of shading and doing soft edges on this, I just would drew like hard lines to represent the kneecap. So do it a lot differently now. I did it, I mean, it's weird that I did the chin in soft edge, but not everything else. Anyways, anatomy poses. This is from the app Mara Hall. You take the pose, just anatomy poses, and you can change them the way you want. Really enjoyed doing that one. Just wanted to do something cool. Yeah, this is the. Ooh, that's a nice foot. I like the foot. I do like it. I think it's got good proportions and stuff, except for the like little ankle over there that's exposed twice, like two little ankles. Anyways, big eyes, big eyes. Struggled with hair, used to draw hair like spaghetti kind of. Yep, you see it's a very like, it just took so long to do that, and now I don't do that anymore. Now I just kind of block in the kind of shape of the hair around it and not worry so much about everything, because that hinders you, especially when it comes to painting, when you try to draw every strand, which is something I'm getting out of the habit of doing. So big eyes, didn't understand proportions for eyes at that time. Hands, yep, didn't understand shadows. There's a lot that I like, well, you know, but once I start taking it seriously, you guys will see the big jump up in my art. There's a big, like, you know, I take a big step up. Oh, speaking of which, this one here, yeah, I mean, look at this, like the torso is like facing that way completely, so the abs are all, it just looks out of whack with, like, you know, the way that his abs and everything are facing that one. But I posted that on Instagram and was really proud of it, so I think it pretty much is still on there, but whatever. Maybe I'll take it off, man. I want to show my best art, but who knows? I know you guys can see the worst stuff from here, so. But the thing is, I don't think I thought of it as bad at the time, which is really good, because, you know, if I thought this stuff was bad, I would never, I mean, you may be motivated to get better, but you know, I always wanted to improve. But the fact that I loved my art and had fun with it, that it's like a child, you know, the child still draws even though it's bad. Like, they think they're good. But you've got to like know where you are at your level of drawing and be willing to draw, you know, grow, but also know, like, it's weird. You got to know you're not good, but also know that you are great. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but a lot of gesture drawing, very simple anatomy poses, no shading, no like, and the lines are very like simple. Like every line that I would draw, it's like, you know, that's like a poor tangent over here with this like bicep, tricep thing, whatever. Another thing is I don't know the names of all the anatomical parts of the body, so I just draw whatever I see. Like, I did not study the names of things. Feet, more feet. Yeah, I didn't study the names of things, so forgive me if I don't know the names of everything. So yeah, more of that, more anatomy poses. This one isn't that bad. I like this. This is like a good shading and stuff, so it's not that bad. Yeah, I see where you were going, Josh. Again with the spaghetti hair, but it's still good. This one I think is supposed to be Willem Dafoe, and then there's a bunch of random faces. Trying to understand how to draw hair. Thought that if I just drew one thing, it improved me, but I should have been drawing like hundreds of heads, which I do now, but hey man, at least I do it now, so. Hair again. Big pose. Perspective pose, kind of. At least I kind of understand that the objects closer to me are bigger and smaller in the distance, but her arms are so long, like, she has very lanky arms, so. Big eyes, you know, weird proportions here, big chin. Woo, boy! Ooh, that foot over here underneath. Yikes. Then we have more anatomy poses, more gesture poses. Yeah, again, this was mostly gesture stuff. It's very gestural drawing, so. Eyes are very big at this time. I didn't understand that I should be drawing them a lot smaller, But hey, man, it's because of anime. I'm telling you, man, anime makes you think eyes are huge things and you should do all the detail, like, you know, as much as possible. But I'm glad now I drew them smaller. I do still like this one. The contrast, you know, the darkness, the value should be, it probably could be a little bit darker over here because, you know, it's closer to the body, so that could be darker shading. But hey, man, it's still good. I like it. I do think it's still good. Like, yeah, it's got a good style to it. Yeah, it's not bad, except for that mouth. And that's why I didn't finish the head, because I'm pretty sure I didn't know what I was gonna do next. Ooh, hooded guy with the big boots and the thing. Okay, more anatomy, very short neck. Oh, the proportions, it's like really big here, smaller on here. Oh god. Oh man, that the top left one's not that bad. It's very equal, so. Ooh, perspective. This is, I think, just kind of high school again. We did a lot of technical drawing in high school, which is just kind of basic architecture classes in high school, and yeah, so I had an upbringing of understanding perspective, and you know, and I also got this anime book, How to Draw Manga, and it was showing like, there's a vanishing point, and this is the vanishing point, and blah blah blah. So yeah, that hat, oh my god, I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to look at that sketch. These aren't that, no, let me not say, this one isn't that bad, I guess. Her chin is kind of short, her mouth, like jaw, her head, yeah, no comment. Johnny Depp, that's supposed to be Johnny Depp, I think. Black and white photo from some movie he did back in the day. I don't know his career. Her head is very small. Her skull doesn't have enough in the back here for her brain. Yeah, that's another thing. When you do skull studies, and you'll see them in the other sketchbooks, man, they really teach you about the back of the head and how much space there really is. And another thing I kind of learned is how flat actually the top of the head is. It's not actually round like that. It's kind of a little bit flat at the top, so it would go straight out. Kind of like a peanut. That's kind of the shape from a side view. I did remember that I also used to draw rib cages like this, so at least I did get that from my anime days. Mugen, other Samurai Champloo stuff. This is just a copy sketch. It's funny, it doesn't look that bad upside down, but then here you can see kind of the mistakes. But because it's upside down, your brain kind of recorrects my mistakes. Interesting. That's an interesting concept. I want to look into it. Sometimes it feels like that. I may be wrong, but hands. I don't know which page is upside down. More hands. This feels like the right side up. More hands. More gesture poses. They're super important because they taught me about energy, like the energy of the back, the spine especially, like how much the flow is. So, you know, once you get gesture down, it helps to make your poses not so stiff later on, which you'll see later on in my other sketchbooks, how it helped. So, gorillas. Gorilla. My African side. So, yeah. Okay. This kind of reminds me of Waking Life, or like A Scanner Darkly, the movie, the rotoscope, is that it? That kind of animation. But yeah. Yeah, there's that. Oh, and we got 2 more sketches, so we'll just do this one and then we'll talk about that one. I mean, you've seen this one, but this is just graffiti that a friend of mine did, and he was really good at graffiti. He did the matric logo, so matric graduation, 12th grade. And then this guy, I actually did draw this again in my sketchbooks. A lot of these poses I've redone because I use quick pose to do my pose sketching, so a lot of them are just re-sketches. So yeah, and that's pretty much that. Like, we have that, and we have, I think that's Bradley Cooper, and just a nude pose. So yeah, guys, stay tuned for the next episode where I will show you this sketchbook here and give you kind of an overview of what, like, you know, how much my improvement has been through practicing my mileage, drawing more on each page, sketching more frequently, longer hours, because at this time, you know, the ones I just showed you, I was drawing 3 hours, or not even, God, like maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and thinking that it was like I'd done a lot, you know, even though it was just one sketch. So, oh, anyway, someone's screaming outside, or yelling, but anyways, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate the views. And yeah, share this video, like, comment in the description below, especially what videos you guys want to see me talk about and stuff, because you know, I just kind of thought of this idea to do a sketchbook tour. Usually most people do this like when they're well accomplished as an artist in their career, and then show people like a background of where they came from. But I'm doing a background. I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna show people so you guys can grow with me and see how much more I'm doing still to keep growing as an artist. So anyways, thanks.